Hello.
Hello. Bonjour.
嗨，大家好。
أهلا وسهلا.
Здравствуйте.
안녕하세요.
Привет.
My name is Olivia.
Steve.
Marmar.
Rebecca.
Tom.
Rochelle. Charlene.
Laura.
Edlin.
Katya.
Jeremy. I'm from Canada.
Indonesia.
Peru.
Kazakhstan.
中国。
And Hungary.
Россия.
And I'm a global spin.
I got culture shock from like the freshman admissions day right from there.
I felt jet lagged, very jet lagged, but I also felt like home.
People's expectations for me, I think, are the hardest part. Of there, people expect me to be different, and I'm not. And here, people expect me to be the same, and I'm not.
It was different. Sometimes I don't really get their jokes, or sometimes, like they don't really get my jokes. So
the challenge is you have communication barriers sometimes, even though I know how to speak English. It's a gift because you can offer people a different perspective.
Yeah, greeting norms here still confuse me and aggravate me. In Peru, it's always very consistent. I know if it's a guy, I'll shake his hand. If it's a girl, I'll give her a kiss on the cheek. It's always very straightforward. Here, it's kind of like, okay, we're friends. Are we good enough friends to hug? Do I hug all of you? Like, do you feel left out if I don't hug you? Because I just met you.
What I've noticed is that people, if you're about to cross the street, people stop for you, whereas for here, no one stops for you, which is the worst.
I would say some of the main differences, people are not friendly there. If you smile, they know you're a foreigner because you don't smile to people on the streets unless you know them. Like, why would you?
I like movies just like you do. I'll play video games just like you do, and I'll eat guinea pigs too. Just mostly the same, but some different things.
This is like a couple weird questions before. Just like some people ask me, because I'm Asian, they will ask me, are you Korean? Because they don't know where I come from. Like, are you Korean, Japanese, or Chinese? That's okay, like, because they don't really know.
and also people always ask me, oh, do you like to go eat Korean barbecue? When actually in Korea, there's no actually Korean barbecue. Oh, where are you from? Oh, Indonesia. Is that in Hawaii?
Don't Muslims worship the moon? And I'm like, no, they really don't.
Oh, you're Asians, but Gangnam Style. I was like, dude, I'm Chinese.
Well, I had someone, I was kind of manipulating them. I got them to kind of think that we live in igloos, which wasn't nice. I should have done that, but they were kind of asking me questions along those lines, which were kind of silly. But yeah, I don't live in igloos.
One time, I got asked by this lady at one of the churches we were visiting if I live in a yurt, which is sort of like the Kazakh version of like a Native American teepee, you know? And I'm like, no, I grew up in the city. I had an Xbox and a Wii.
Maybe for me, it's my language barrier that makes me uncomfortable when talking to American students. So it makes me not reach out to people, but actually I really want to make friends with American students.
When people say that Canadians are all really nice and friendly, which just isn't true. Not all Canadians are nice. So just making that known. And I guess another thing, it's like I've noticed a lot of even like Americans kind of almost devalue their culture, and they kind of say, oh, Canadians, they've got it figured out kind of stuff. I've heard that a lot. Like, oh, Canadians, they got all universal health care, they got that all figured out. They got all this sort of stuff, which just isn't the case. I mean, there's pros and cons to every culture.
One suggestion I give to them is if you want to know one culture really well or fast, just get to know the person who came from the culture. That would be better than any textbook.
I think one of the ways is to be intentional about asking questions and not assuming, never ever assuming.
Am I asking them what their story is about? Am I asking them how they grew up, what they care about?
I would like it if the domestic student start talking with the non-domestic, and the non-domestic also approaching the domestic, because these two groups of entities should blend together and not stay as two different entities.
Just like you wish sometimes that someone would just ask you about like the little things in your hometown, like really show an interest in just the little parts of their life instead of seeming to have any sort of agenda.
I'm from Tianjin, China.
I'm from Russia.
And I'm from Indonesia.
And I'm from Kazakhstan.
I'm from Canada.
And I'm from South Korea and US.
I'm from Indonesia.
I'm from Peru.
And I'm from Kazakhstan.